Okay, now you want to try to get your balls back. Now there's, when you go into court, use your balls. All capital. You have the artificial person, now you have two. You got, so you got a little, you got two. Now you got two balls. One testicle each. You need a lawyer to read for you. Prosecutor, and a defense attorney going back and forth, rebutting one of your shitty butts in court. That's really all that's going on. You have to stop and think about that. Somebody has to go into court for all of the leave. All the use, agreed. That's the way it works. You need to go up and down, three up, three down, and you're in the bottom in commerce. There's three copies to a bill. So how did it happen? Okay, the emergency lights come on. Somebody comes up in a uniform, asks for your driver's license, registration, and insurance. So you've written a notice of understanding intent and claim. Right. You don't have to do business. Oh, okay. Now you both got it right there. So you exchange information. So that's one. Emergency lights are okay, that's one. Exchange information. Now you got your name written on a piece of paper. Now you have two opposing parties. So you've agreed to that much. Court is a place where justice is administered. Right? So you got that part right? Okay. Court is a place where justice is administered. De facto and de jure. You have a judge. Two opposing parties. So you have two opposing parties. And a reliable witness. I have a de jure court formally. Okay. And you get asked, are you going to plead guilty or not guilty? The prosecutor is going to read up to why the emergency lights are on. Now you get to tell the rest of the story. It's just a preliminary hearing. You get that part. Now you're a real de jure court. You get this wrong. You go down here. Still got three up. Here. Three up, three down. Zero balance. So you plead guilty. Go back to here. Criminal code. Part 16, in case you're interested, you get up to 3s and 400s. Not quite made it a little farther than that. Part 16, 503. Then you get to the forms. And there's different forms. Now you need to go through the forms. It's not my decision, it's your decision. Now you go through the forms and find one. You get a piece of paper. You go to judge to sign. Or you can check the rules of court. Then you have to go online and check the province or the state you're in. It's not my problem, it's your problem. You check the rules of court, and then they have the bottom contents, and you slip through and you can find fees, forms. Click on the forms, go through the forms, and find out a lot of world of information about what notices mean. and how you have to get out of this nightmare using notices. Okay, to keep it brief, it's an important word when you get to court. You don't want to waste the court's valuable time. Time is money in court. Rule number 1. The clerk of the court. Stop here. Okay, we're going to try again. Now, rule number 1, the clerk of the court. Get the rules in review. Try again. Rule number 1, know the rules. So, you go up to the clerk of the court, you have the proper forms already filled out. Then you get a stamp. You pay you $200. Then you go and you mail your affidavit to the opposing party and their lawyer. It's 2 copies to start with. Then you go back to the clerk of the court. You have another copy of the document with the stamp number on it. You can do this after, but you need to have these stamps. You need these numbers. So you can make these all the copies you need ahead of time. You get them all stamped when you're at the courthouse. You pay your $200 in advance. It's prepaid. So you have another copy for yourself and one for your lawyer, and another copy for the clerk of the court. So the clerk takes a copy of the copy you sent, because he doesn't remember. It's not his business to remember. It's just the clerk. Remember, you just have a job to do. You're not going to argue with him. Then you swear out another affidavit that you went to the post office and you mailed the documents. And then you have another form. You have all the forms. There's a number of forms to fill out. So you have all the forms to fill out. And then you pay all the money to pay an affidavit to say that you sent an affidavit to say that affidavit. Then you wait for a response. Your opponent comes down and they go through the same routine. And then you get an application, a response to your affidavit, and then an application response. So in my case, what I did is put everything in writing, send it off, and then I got a reply saying, I don't care. Yeah, I know. Usually a typical answer. And then an application response saying all the rules. Cited a number of cases. Gave me 5 days. I thought, I don't want to waste the court's time, so I averaged 14 days. Usually 35. I don't want to waste the court's time. So I had 5 days not to go down and I have to make an application response to the response and then respond to the application response and then back to the office in 5 days. Notice to admit. The hearing. All these notices right up there. You have it all indexed. All everything's ready, and then you come back to the clerk of the court. And then the day before the trial, you give the paperwork to the clerk, the judge. So when the court case comes up, clerk has a copy, court reporter has a copy, the judge has a copy, opposing party has a copy. Everybody's got a copy. Got a copy. is important because if it's any now the judge can make a decision about I'll put it in writing. This is the response. They denied my petition. I don't need a lawyer. It's just a formality. Clean the three up, make sure everybody knows. Yeah, I already know. I have it. I'll show you. You need to. The defendant has a copy. Somebody had to go to court and get verification on some information that's going around the internet. About going into court and acting as an agent. In review, okay, I'd like to go over the ABCs again. They'll make things a little more clear. So, in re, and I'm going to write it like that. So, in re, which can mean in review, right? You can stop, review the video because you haven't seen it yet. It's a preliminary viewing. So you have to review after you viewed it. You need a witness to say that you've seen it. So you spread the word. See if we can figure out what words are there. So your power words are A's. So you got allocution. It's an important word. If you miss that word, you lose them all. And allocution, ask, acquiescence, affidavit. What is an affidavit? You have to be able to write before you can read, and you don't know what the words mean, so you can't write what an affidavit means. So you need to go back, pay attention, and correct your errors. Because that's what the courts are allowed you to do. So now you get down a little farther, and you have adversary. Now, who's your adversary? I don't know. Now you have to stop and think about that one. I mean, you don't know who your adversary is. You're in court. You've been in court. If you're in commerce, you've been to court, or you decided you didn't want to go to court. It doesn't matter. Your adversary beats you to it. So, and you have B's. Now, B's are B's. You lost your balls in court. So, okay, that's number one. You've got a 0. Remember, 0 is an important number. Bankruptcy, bills of exchange, bills of rights. You have the bills of rights, right? Freedom of speech, freedom of the press. No, your job entitled does not entitle you to speak, so you give that one up. Now we're into C, commerce. Not using the back. So BC, before commerce. Before commerce, you had a choice. Now you don't have a choice. Now your choice is reduced. You have the artificial person and a natural person. You're a natural person. You don't know your ABCs anymore, right? You got up to V. Or W. No, let's go back. What's a W? That's how in modern English you write a W. Well, what does W mean? Right? A W, and then there's X and Y. That's a U. Now the W, before you got all capital letters, A, B, C's, and the lower letters, right? A W, there's no E in a W, there's just two U's. Okay? Two U's are we, there's no decision making, there's no authority. Authority is a capital letter. You gotta know your ABCs before you get to know what authority is, right? Three up, three down. You gotta know what up, three down is. Now, I went over, we made a list yesterday. I made a list yesterday. We didn't do it, I did it. It was Adam, Peter, George Washington, BW. Alright, those were the zeros. Wow, here we go. Peter, he was given a name, does he really belong there? Let's see if I want to go on a little farther. Maybe change some of the numbers here. So we have 1, we didn't know who 1 was. 2, he's not. 3 was Noah. So, to prove the existence of a person, you need a name and a date of birth. So, 325, it'll get together, a conspiracy. When people get together, they conspire to, right? So that was when the Holy Roman Catholic Church became a person, an artificial person. That's when the first book came. So that's 325. Took a name. I don't know whose name it was, I don't care. You can look it up for yourself. Double check your facts. So you can move Peter off the list. Move him down here somewhere. Right. I don't know where, but he's there. Anyway, so you still have number 1 was George Washington. Big 0 was John Hancock. Remember, that was what I said, Hancock. That's what you need, John Hancock. Well, back to the ABCs. W. When you get to U, when people are writing understanding, claim of rights. They're understanding and they're writing 110 times. Anyway, there's undertaking. It's an undertaking to get a signature, reliable witness. As soon as you allocute, then the judge can listen to what you say, write it down. What you say, so we have you have judge's vampire, and it's the voyeur. So you need to know what a voyeur means. It's important. It's more important than guilty. Are you really in court? Yeah, you're really in court. So you have the voyeur, you know your D's. And the U, there's only one U. It's you're in court. Nobody else is in court. You're in court. The X marks the spot, and then we have the zombie. All the other persons turn into zombies. This is what the truth does to people. And you're down in commerce. How'd you get there? Scales of justice, commerce. And you have the code. Balance things out. There's the Criminal Code of Canada, Pocket Criminal Code. When you're going through it, most people will stop at section 127. If you continue on to section 138. That's where it really gets good. Fabricated 132, pardon me, section 132 first. Section 132, punishment. Everyone who commits perjury is guilty of an indictable offense liable to imprisonment for a term of not exceeding 14 years. You think about what perjury and punishment is. And between 137, you go through, and it's got offenses relating to affidavits, section 138. Pay attention to what that means. If you want to write an affidavit, you better know what the punishment and offense is for committing an offense with an affidavit. And section 139, that's a good one. Obstructing justice. Everyone who willfully attempts to, in any manner, to obstruct or prevent, defeat the course of justice in a judicial proceeding A, by identifying or agreeing to identify a surety or in any way or either in whole or in part, or whether there is surety by accepting, agreeing to accept a fee or any form of indemnity, whether whole or in part, in respect to a person who is released or is to be released from custody. C, is guilty of an indictable offense and is liable for imprisonment not exceeding 2 years for an offense punishable on summary conviction. When do you want to go over that one? 137. That was a good one too. Fabricating evidence. Everyone who with intent to mislead fabricates anything with intent shall be used as evidence in a judicial proceeding existing or proposing by any means other than perjury of indictment to perjury is guilty of an indictable offense liable to imprisonment or not exceeding 14 years. I'd read this myself. Maybe I made mistakes. Not perfect. Go on. Part 8, not even halfway through where I got to. Assault. Everyone who commits an assault is guilty of A, an indictable offense is liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years, or B, an offense punishable on summary conviction. Okay, I think I'll stop there for now. Let everybody think about what everyone means. Everyone. I don't understand some of the things, like, you turn the idiot box on. An idiot is a person with intelligence of someone in grade 3. Now you have somebody on a television screen talking to a fool. Doesn't pay to advertise. Is the federal, check the federal rules and regulations on truth in advertising. You ask any fool if he'll believe it, and you can put it on television. That's the test. So you have a fool and a damn fool on Saturday night. Rock'em sock'em. There was a riot in Vancouver. Yeah, so if you make it to the Stanley Cup, it's a tradition. There's a real riot happens, and it's not funny anymore. Assault is a criminal offense. It's everyone commits an offense. If you go a little farther, there's accessories before and after the fact. Who's to blame here? 20 years, you got children sitting in front of a television with two clowns, and they've been telling them that it's okay to put on a uniform, put on some skates, pick up a stick, and you can get into a fight, and it's not a problem. It's a way to solve your problems. And the answer is no. Period. There's no way. You have to get all the way through the little letters so you get to the capital letters, capital offenses. And there you go. Everybody's sweating the little letters. You got to deal with the capital offenses. Everyone means everyone. How did you get involved in the capital offenses as an accessory after the fact? Because you don't want to plead guilty. You don't want to plead guilty to the little stuff, the minor stuff. So what? Yeah, it was your decision. My decision to go into court, I don't understand. He's talking to a judge. Talking to the judge, and everybody's panicking. Yeah, it's the end of the trial, and I don't understand. I know about the affidavits and everything about how you have to present your credentials, you state your business in writing. And if you don't have a piece of paper with my name on it before you speak, it's over. There's no arguing when I get to court. It's like, I don't understand. You're told not to bring me into court, but now you want to go over this one more time. Again, no, the judge made a mistake the first time. I got to go back and deal with this. Every time I go into court, but no, I don't understand. I know. And it's the out-of-court settlement. Yeah, I know. Try to deal with the out-of-court settlement. You get up to Section 266, and yeah, that person can consent to be assaulted. that's a problem. You know, they get paid money for it. Debt. And they're bought and sold on the open market, and everybody knows. No, hey, it's great. I mean, people want to be on television. They want to be the star of the show. They're going to New York to the Big Apple so they can be on television every night. Everybody can go home and read how Donald Duck, Daffy Duck, and Mickey Mouse are really doing in court. Now you got to stop and think about how people and why people get on television. Take a break, relax. It's just the first viewing. There's more to come, and we can review. Okay, in review again. Review little letters, big letters. Let's go back to B banks. Out of court settlements. Now, you have a contract with an artificial person. You have a master contract. So everybody's held under the master contract. Now you can use the master contract to write your own contract. Right? Everybody's agreed what those words mean, so you can use those words to write your own contract. So you got to separate yourself from everybody else. Now, the way it should have worked for me a long time ago. When I wrote my own contracts, I go and I have an interview, and I go back and then I write a letter saying I agree to everything. Okay, just don't take any tax off me, don't take any benefits, don't do any of those things. You just write a check from the company, and then they have my name. And put a number. And some numbers. And then somebody, like you get a check, you know, the company's name. Right, would be there, then my name would be here. The amount, $5,000. Right, 5,000 drawn on the Bank of Montreal. It has the address, so you could actually go down to the bank. The bank was drawn, the check was drawn on. I used to do these things, and I go, "Is this signature the company's signature?" No. Okay, I checked. Now you can give me the funds that a bank sends a check back to the company, and an accountant, who they work with magic numbers. Right? Everything's got a zero balance. So they zero balance the numbers that the company borrowed from the bank, you know, to pay me. They had to borrow the money from the bank to pay me, and I went to the bank and I verified that the check isn't signed by the company. And then go back, and then the accountant has an attack because he doesn't make, unless the company makes money, he can't get paid because that's the contract that he wrote. That's their problem, not mine. Right? I wrote my own contract. So it has a zero balance. It doesn't cost anybody any money. You know, I've accounted for the money, the funds. They don't, you know, everything's zero balance. The judge ruled for the bank. I was convicted. The judge ruled for the bank. Funds being held in court belong to me. Right? Then I go to the bank, borrows it to the company. I go to the company and I say, double check. We got to double check these things. Double entry bookkeeping. Go to the bank checks it right. And then they come back and they go, "Oh, yeah, I'm zero balanced it too. Right? Now we can get to do it again tomorrow." And it's not a problem. So, you know, everybody who needs to know knows. Contract law, no third-party interluders, right? You're dealing with an artificial person as long as everybody knows how you're dealing with the artificial person. The artificial person doesn't complain. There's no complaint from an artificial person. Shouldn't be, but there is. People go into court and sue and be sued. I'm not a pickler. You know, you watch the movies, you know, like, you know, Three Up, Three Down. You know, go back, have a review of that movie. It's really good. You know, do you see anything on this uniform that indicates an officer? And if the answer is no, then you're going to find out what Three Up, Three Down really means. That's how you administer your affairs. They get sergeant's ranks. I got a record. You need to verify your facts. You want to listen to credentials? Don't ask me. Don't trust me. Nothing but trouble. I've been nothing but trouble my whole life. Nobody believes me. You need a court order to talk to me. You need a court order to talk to me. Oh, well, there's so much to review. Let's get something that everybody can agree on. You know, money. Everybody likes to know about money. I had that. You remember the list? You know, money, religion, and politics. You know, Adam. Religion, politics. Oops. Gotta mind your P's and Q's. Money. All M's. Good for zero balance. Arms to the poor. All items are good for zero balance now. Politics, popes. Religion, if it's not, if it's, the name isn't in the book, get in with it. Presidents, prime ministers, all P's. You gotta mind your P's and Q's. No, the money. They get bought and sold. They get bought and sold. They sold their souls a long time ago. They're politicians. Never argue with an idiot. Don't wear you down and beat you with experience. It's their job. You can't win. You can't win. You can't beat a politician saying that he doesn't have a higher degree of stupidity than you do. He's talking to you. It's against the law. They run for office. They're full of shit. Everybody knows. Used to it. Follow the money. Follow the money. Now, yesterday's the outhouse. Now, when you get to the outhouse, you got back benches. You know, they sit up in front. You know, they kind of ease into an outhouse. But you got to remember, you're direct, natural water. Law. Natural law. Gravity sucks. You get sucked down to the bottom of the outhouse, right? Once you're down there long enough, you get to go to the upper house. It just drips down on it. It's natural. The independence of the judiciary. Now you have London. Was not captured during the Norman Conquest for a reason. It's an independent state. And you have the Vatican. It's not a part of Italy. The Lateran Treaty of 1929. You need to find out. A priest, they have access. They can go to the Vatican. They have a right to free travel to the Vatican. It's a one-way ticket. They get to pick the Pope. Right? Pope says he has an eye in his asshole, two eyelids, the butts. He's the only person who can read. He's not lying. Right? The eyes have it. Democracy's mob rule. That's where it comes from. Pope's elected. He's the Pope pirate king. Triple crown. Yeah, third degree. And then you have Washington. That's a tri-city state now. Inside there, separation of church and state. London. Hudson's Bay Company, 1760, it was a registered corporation in the city of London. The East India Company was registered in London. All these companies, the Virginia Company, they were all registered in London. Crown colonies were registered in London. Everybody signed a contract in order to come to the New World looking for freedom. They're looking for it. They don't know what they're looking for. If you've never had it, you're looking for something you don't know. You have to go back to the Magna Carta. The Church of England shall always be free, and to the city of London we grant all its ancient laws and customs. Language. The Catholic Church became the Holy Roman Catholic Church. It divided the empire into Constantinople, Rome. Rome, they did business, money, politics, separation of church and state. So the emperor goes to Constantine, and he goes, okay, now you're writing Latin. Why do we have the Bible in Greek? Now we know how you separate church and state. Language. So London was a part of the empire, and the Western Empire. The Pope, he can read. Now becomes a problem. Asshole, shut up. The brain starts to get weak, and then you get the Dark Ages, and then it continues and continues and continues. And now they'll let it go a bit. Now you have a revolution in Washington, the Declaration of Independence. The city of London is independent, so they created their own district where they can administrate their commerce, money, Magic Kingdom, the Kingdom of Id. It's Washington, D.C. So and everybody has embassies in Washington. I had to go to Supreme Court to do a petition. I'll do that a little later. First things first. One. Make my declaration. Canada is a corporation registered in Washington, D.C. When you're in Washington, D.C., everything is a corporation. That was one of the first decisions that got made. No, every state is a body politic, a corporation. Everyone means everyone. You walk into court in the District of Columbia, you're a corporation, you're a corpse. A dead man talking. Okay, no, you're a corporation. That's where it comes from. Now, outside of the District of Columbia is Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth in the right of the province of British Columbia, and or, you get a choice, and or Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth in the right of Canada. Now it depends on which. Now you're going into federal court or you're going into provincial court. Now different courts, different jurisdictions. They, legislate in the province. That's it. Your first introduction is in provincial courts. You need to deal with provincial courts, provincial rights. How you go into court. Now you need to deal with the provincial level of the courts. And then you have the Supreme Court. You have National League rules and American League rules. Now you need to know the difference between National League rules and American League rules. Now you can't come from a commercial court and go to a National League court and think that you found out what an affidavit means. You can put some words on a piece of paper and you get to walk into Supreme Court and go, no, everything's in writing. Everything's done before you get to court. Nobody's going to be saying anything that isn't already in writing. Everything's been settled before you get to court. That's how you settle your affairs. You put it in writing. And then, okay, we already agreed in writing. Now we're just in there to get the autographs. All the out-of-court settlement. Now we'll put it in writing first. Now we'll go to court and we'll get signatures. That's how you get a real civil claim. But no. Sue and be sued. There's no sue and be sued anymore. That's no money, bank, zero balance. Gotta keep those scales of justice to the big zero. No more baby talk. It's childish behavior. You're in court. Where in hell do you think you're